If you're thinking about starting a supplement company, this one's for you guys. So I started a company 2 years ago. I kind of put everything on a credit card, and I did make all that money back. Like I said in another video, I think it was initially like a $8,000 investment for everything. I did not need to invest that amount of money. However, that's what I invested. I bought almost everything. I wholesaled everything. I have a whole video talking about what exactly I bought, the price of different things individually. I'll put the link for that in the description below. But overall, I spent a lot of money to get started. I did make all that money back. However, things just add up, such as like softwares. Everyone likes to take a little bit of commission, taxes, and in the long run, you need to be doing a lot of volume to be making a lot of money. Because I would say every month I barely break even. I do make roughly 30 to 45 sales a year, or 30 to 45 sales a month. Now, this is because I feel like a lot of people, they come in, they buy, and then they're not returning customers. That's my fault. I need to double down on that and figure out why people aren't coming back. Now, I will say the people who have continued to buy because of the relationship that I have with them. They feel like they're a part of Top Fitness, and I heard a quote once that said, people continue to buy because of the relationship, not because of the product. So therefore, people don't buy, they feel like they're ruining the relationship, and they really enjoy talking to me, they enjoy being a part of Top Fitness, and they don't want that taken away. So that's why they continue to be a part of the community. Plus, I try to provide as much value as possible to them. I do want to make a little bit more videos talking about marketing and how I build relationships with people. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you subscribe, because tons of videos coming that way. Because there will be tons of videos just like that. So I try to build a relationship with a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people, and I figured. So I try to build a relationship with a lot of people, and that takes up a lot of my time. Just talking to people, texting people, which is a good thing. Networking is probably the number one thing that has brought sales in for me, and I enjoy helping people. I enjoy helping people reach their fitness goals, becoming stronger in their faith, just becoming a better person overall. And I feel like I said, that's one of the main reasons that I have gotten a lot of sales, is because people trust me, they trust the brand, and I need to reach out to the people that have kind of stepped away from Top Fitness or have bought once. I will say a lot of the younger people, they jump from one thing to the next, and that's why my target audience is a little bit of higher age, because they tend to find something they like and they stick with it. So there are my sales right now. About a couple months ago, I did start a new program, and I've just been kind of tinkering with it, trying to perfect it. It is a weight loss challenge. So another great marketing thing that I've talked to people about is that people don't just want the supplements, they want it all. So therefore, I'm providing the training, the supplements, everything. And this whole thing has just been experimenting with different things to figure out what works, what doesn't work, how I can provide the most value for the least amount of money on my end right now. Because like I said, I don't make a whole lot of money, and you won't make a whole lot of money starting out either. If you want to dip your toes in the water without spending a lot of money, there are different like drop shipping things for supplements that I have a buddy who does, and he does pretty well with that, and he did not spend a whole lot of money to get started. I think he spent like $1,500 compared to $8,000. So I spent a whole lot more money. Now I do like it that I can put my personal touch on it and stuff, but overall you don't need that in order to make sales. Now I mainly sell direct to consumer, so this means people need to go to my website. I have sold from TikTok Shop before, and that does okay. However, I feel like I haven't personally messed around with that a whole lot. I'll make another video talking about that and how I need to optimize that. I'll talk about it a little bit more. That way, if you're thinking about starting a supplement company, you can understand how TikTok Shop works. That way you don't go in blind. Tons of other videos on YouTube and whatnot that you can find that are probably a lot better than that one. However, talking from my personal experience and me doing the exact same thing that you want to be doing may help you. So I'll make that video probably later this month. Like I said, I'll dive into it a little bit more. The past month or so, my time has been tied up into creating this program, creating a lot of content for it, just putting the program together. So it is a 30-day weight loss challenge. I'll make another video, keep saying that, talking about that challenge particularly and how it's going to elevate my business and everything like that. The softwares that I'm using for it. I'll talk about how I'm running ads and how I'm bringing traffic and leads into my business. I do want to go back into like the startup phase. So I am about to drop a package off here. I'm on my way to work currently. I'm going to drop this off and then I will be back and I'll tell you about the startup phase a little bit more. Alright, there's that. So, with a lot of my local people who buy, I like to just drop it off. Saves me on shipping. Shipping is about $8 a package, depending where it goes throughout the U.S. I am from Pennsylvania, so to ship to California is like $11. Crazy. Going back to the startup phase. So one of my favorite quotes is by Abraham Lincoln. At least they say it's from Abraham Lincoln. Is, if you give me 6 hours to sharpen an axe, I will spend the first 4. If you give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Now, this is an awesome quote, and I believe that this is something that I did. So I read a ton of books about marketing, about entrepreneurship. I listened to podcasts, and I got a bunch of knowledge before I actually started the business. And I feel like this helped me a lot. Business is super hard, and I feel like I definitely had an advantage over some people. And this is what I strongly suggest you do. Even if you are just thinking about starting a business, start listening to podcasts. Start listening to different people who are just like me, who have gone through the supplement business, who have started from nothing and got to a certain point. Now, I'm nowhere near like Rye CEO or Echo Vision, for example. However, I'm not much farther than you, honestly. So that's why I think I'm a great person to listen to. But like I said, you want to sharpen your axe. You want to get your headspace right. You want to understand how the world works, how sales work, because this will be such a huge aspect when you start. Right now, you may be saying, I have a pretty good social media following. That's all I need in order to make sales. And that's what I thought too. However, I started the business and I thought, sales are just going to pour in because I have a great following. People like me. However, that wasn't the case. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a different episode, but a big following does not equal sales. And it all depends on your target audience. A bunch of aspects go into that. Like I said, I'll take a deeper dive into that. That way you guys can actually understand what it's like to be like a mid-sized influencer to starting a business and realizing that the sales just don't come in like you would expect. Now, I will tell you what I did to make the sales, how I pivoted different ways. Like I said, I'll go over all of that. But you want to sharpen your axe, learn the different skills about marketing, making sales. That way, once you start the business, you can execute. I love it when I talk to people who just started a business. I'm like, do you know Alex Hormozi? Or do you know the guy from First Form? I can't remember his name right now. Russell Brunson. I'll just name a bunch of entrepreneurs, or Andy Elliott, people who talk about sales and marketing, and they're like, no, I've never listened to them, or I have no idea who they are. And then I just think so you just bought supplements and you just hoped they would sell. You had no idea how to sell or how to market them. You just kind of wished for the best, which is probably the dumbest thing to do. Another one of my favorite quotes is, what is it? Knowledge without action is useless, but action without knowledge is dangerous. So these people are going to lose a lot of money, a lot more than what I did. Going back to that aspect, I feel like I did lose I don't want to say I lost a good bit of money, but I feel like I keep digging a hole because, as I said in the beginning, I feel like I barely just break even. And the number one thing that you never want to do is run out of supplies. So therefore, I feel like I have maybe 50 tubs or so left, and then I'll place another order, and another order is easily $6,000-$7,000. So therefore, after everything is said and done, I barely make enough to cover the cost of that and all the softwares and other expenses I have. And then it's just this continued cycle of barely breaking even. And a business that does $100,000 a year, but take home is $10,000 is not a very good business. You can't live on that. And to do $100,000 a year is a lot of work. This is something that I'm learning, and this is why I'm kind of making different pivot moves about how I can make more money from basically selling the same products. That's why I'm offering all the training and such a big service. I'll go over that in the video where I talk about the challenge that I'm doing. I'll kind of break down the numbers a little bit. And if you were planning to do the challenge, you'll see why things are the way they are. And honestly, I am charging a little bit more, but you're also getting a heck of a deal on the supplements compared to if you buy from Walmart or anything like that. Plus, you get the whole training aspect and the fitness aspect of it as well. Like I said, I'm super pumped about this project here, and things have been going super, super well. But overall, right now, I do feel like barely breaking even. In the beginning, I said I put everything on a credit card. My credit card has kind of stayed about the same throughout the past 2 years. I feel like I haven't really gotten anywhere. I have gotten more products. I've gotten t-shirts. I've gotten shakers. So yes, I did expand the business, but my debt hasn't gone down. And to say it's good debt versus bad debt is hard because I have paid a crap ton of money in interest as well, which is also like a business write-off and stuff. But still, $200 a month in interest is a waste of money, because that could be $200 I pocket if I would have initially just invested the $8,000 from my bank account, but I did not do that. Right now, I do still work a full-time job, and that's how I am providing for my family. My wife has a whole business, and she brings income in from that. That's doing super well. She's doing awesome. She does great with that. However, my business, on the other hand, not so much. It's my fault, and I really need to execute, take action, and just start doing more. There is a difference between being productive and being busy. And I feel like sometimes I do a lot of busy work. So I may spend 20 hours a week on my business, but some of it is doing stupid stuff. Like, I should be talking to people. I should be networking. I should be building relationships. But instead, I'm working on, like, a stupid story for Instagram, which, yes, it does help build the brand a little bit, but ultimately that's not going to bring in income. That's not going to help. I should be doing other things. I need to learn how to prioritize my time better into where I can bring in the most money. And this is where I'm getting better at, because if I start talking to someone and I know that I can't help them, or they're only in it for themselves, then I kind of stop talking to them. I stop networking with them, because that's a waste of my time. I have a lot of people who just want free stuff, and that's the only reason they're talking to me. And I will promise you guys, if you're thinking about starting a supplement company, you'll get a lot of people who will ask for free stuff, or they'll ask you to send them free stuff in exchange for something. I had a guy once said, "Hey dude, I'll send you a bunch of cool pictures and stuff if you send me a tub of pre-workout." Send him a tub of pre-workout. Guess what? no pictures. Same thing with a bunch of influencers. Hey dude, I'll make a cool video, I have 10 followers, you'll get tons of sales, this will be great. Just send me a tub of pre-workout. Send them a tub of pre-workout, and guess what? No video. This happened time and time again. And that's why it's so hard to trust people, because you don't know if someone is lying, if someone is actually going to help you. Another thing that I get a lot is email marketers. And let me tell you, a lot of these guys are full of crap. These are people who watch a couple of videos on YouTube, and they think they're experts in video marketing or email marketing, and they come to you and say, hey dude, pay me $1,000 and I'll write up a couple emails for you. And this is why I'm very skeptical when people reach out to me about this. I typically look at their page, look at how they're doing, and sometimes I will hop on a call with them, because even just from hopping on a call, I like to pick their brain a little bit. Even though I go in knowing that I'm not going to do any business with them, I can ask them certain questions because they know things that I don't know. And therefore, they may give me ideas, and then I'm going to implement those ideas. So one thing in the beginning, when I talked to somebody, they said, hey dude, you do not have a pop-up on your main page when people come to your website. I was like, what do you mean? They said, well, if you go to certain websites, you'll get a pop-up that says, hey, give me your email for 20% off or 10% off. And this is how you build an email list, and people will continue to buy because they want those savings. So therefore, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Talked to him a little bit more about a couple different things, but as soon as we hung up the phone, guess what I did? I created that pop-up myself. It was super easy and took maybe 20 minutes, but this dude wanted to charge me $250 for it. So hopping on phone calls to people, talking to people, can be annoying, but it can also be very useful at the same time. I try to do these phone calls on my way home from work. That way I'm not taking any time away from the business, the family, anything like that. It's time I'd be driving anyway, when I'd be listening to music, listening to an audiobook, or even doing a short video like this. I do want to start doing more videos like this, that way you guys can have a better understanding of the business and different aspects. It's going to be more like a podcast type thing, as you guys can obviously see. But I will say that I don't do that enough. I don't bring you guys on the journey with me enough. I just kind of document different things. I would say a lot of my content right now is, I don't want to say bull crap. It is very good, but it's kind of all over the place. I don't take you guys behind the scenes enough. I don't bring you guys into the business enough with my content. It's just kind of, hey, here's this. And I think that's something where I really struggle. I do want to make another episode talking about my content and where I found the most success, where I have messed up content that I think has done well in the past versus hasn't done well. And just kind of go over my journey as I don't want to say a social media influencer, but just posting content in general. I think that will really help you. I think that, or I know that your supplement company should have an authoritative figure, should have a figure that is attractive and that people want to be like. And that's what you need to be, or you need to have someone like that. So my company has me. Rise has, Noel. And Raw has C-Bum. They have a bunch of other influencers. EcoVision has TNF. You need to have a attractive figure that people want to be like, and this will really bring people in. Who's another good one? BPN has Nick Bare, which is their CEO. Now, this is my personal favorite supplement company out there, and I honestly would love to meet Nick Bare someday, have a conversation with him. But that's a long ways down the road. I would say that's who I ultimately want to, I don't want to say be like, because I want to be my own thing. I want Top Fitness to be their own brand, their own thing. However, that is a company that I definitely look up to, especially as like a starter company. Being 2 years in, I will say that I feel like I'm still finding my voice. And if you start your supplement company, you're going to be finding your voice. I will say it took me almost a year and a half or so to figure out my voice of being a content creator, just figuring out what I wanted to post and who I wanted to be. I did change that up about 2.5 years into posting. I decided that I wasn't going to stop posting about being a respiratory therapist and start posting more fitness content. And that really shook things up for me. I'll make another video talking about how that really shook my world and how that kind of was a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. It really opened my eyes to, wow, I'm basically starting over again because none of these people care about fitness. And I was making some money from social media at that time. However, after I switched the niche, it just went strictly downhill, and I had to make money more so from sales rather than social media at that point. Like I said, I'll dive into that during that video. But switching up your niche midway it's going to be a struggle, and it may be for the better, maybe for the worse, depends what your ultimate goal is. But my ultimate goal was not to strictly be a content creator for the fitness world, but just be a business owner and help people that way. However, right now, before you even think about starting a supplement company or any type of brand, you need to go ahead and start posting on social media, like I said. This is going to help the most because people are already going to know who you are. They're going to trust you. And this has really helped me because people that I met online, they were like, oh, Austin's a cool dude. I like him. I'm into fitness. I want to support him. I want to buy his stuff. So this is what goes back to networking, building relationships, talking to strangers, just getting to know random people. Is it a pain in the butt? Yes. Will you talk to a lot of people that would never buy it from you? Yes. Will it be worth it? Yes. Because if you go back to a lot of influencers, they're just talking to people time and time again. In the beginning, you have to make single little conversations with people, but you look at some people now. I'm going to use Alex Eubank as an example. He'll go on live and he'll have 100 people to 1,000 people on his live. So he's talking to many people at one time. Now, you won't have that in the beginning. Personally, I don't go live because I feel like it's just a waste of time. If I want to go live, I'm going to make a couple posts about it. I'm going to set it up like as an event, and I'm going to do it that way. That way I can speak to everybody at once, and they know when I'm going to be online. It's going to be like a meeting type thing. So, the two things you need to start doing right now is posting content, building relationship with people, and start reading, start listening to podcasts, start sharpening your axe, because this here is what's going to really help you when you decide to pull the trigger and start your supplement company. Now, will you make a lot of money at first? No. Everyone and their brother thinks that they're going to start a supplement company and they're going to make a crap ton of money. That was me. That's exactly what I thought. And one of my favorite quotes is, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. And I've been through the ringer, and I've tried tons of things. I've thought about giving up, and it is hard. It is hard. But I just keep my head down. I keep going, because I know in the end, if I wanted to make it work, I will make it work. If it's God's plan, it's God's plan. If I need to step away, I'll step away. But when the time comes, the time comes. That's why I kind of want to talk to you about everything, about how I did certain things, that way you can learn from my mistakes. I want to talk about the financial aspect, content creation, all that good stuff, like I said. That way you don't make the same mistakes as me. want to talk about how you can optimize your sales, how you can make the most amount of money, because I am someone who likes to give deals, which is not the way to be in business. If I like you, I'm like, hey dude, here's a $25 gift card, or here's 10% off, or whatever. And yes, that is nice when I need cash. Like, I'll do that real quick. That way someone will buy the product and I'll be good for the month, because there will be times when I look at my bank account and I'm like, crap, I have $110 coming out in subscriptions and I have $20 in my bank account. I need money now. So therefore, I'll kind of make a little bit of a profit on supplements, but I'll sell them for next to nothing, or what I bought them for, just because I need the cash right now. I also feel like that has bit me in the butt time and time again, because I could sell the supplements for $20 more, but I'm not doing volume yet, and ultimately that's my fault. It comes back to my marketing, comes back to me, and that's where I'm learning to optimize different things, but it is what it is. I'm getting better, I'm learning. Jeez. Jackasses. Doing these podcasts here, you're probably going to hear me swear a couple times. I don't have road rage nearly as bad as my wife, but I do get mad sometimes, especially when I'm in the left lane because I see somebody's yielding, so I let them come in to the highway like they're supposed to, but then they cut over right into the left lane right away and cut me off. That's just a big pet peeve of mine. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I really hope this helped. I just kind of rambled this whole time. There was no real structure to this video. This was my first one like this, so I do apologize. I do want to kind of organize my thoughts a little bit better for the next one. Like I said, I just kind of spoke my mind today. I'll speak my mind a little bit more. That way, you guys can just get a personal feel for what it's like to start a supplement company and what it's like to be in business. If you have any questions at all, please leave in the comments. Any recommendations, something you want me to talk about, put it in the comments, let me know. If you listen to this whole thing, appreciate you. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Be the 1%.